Okay, just finished my round of single crochets, and now this is the time where you want to lay this out on the bed, on the floor, and I'll show you some pictures of how I did it, where you want to have 3 of those granny squares on top, or any 6-inch granny square that you want to use. And then you'll have 4 along the wider side. So, and then you'll have 1 in each corner. So you'll need a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. A total of 18 granny squares. So once you've gotten them laid out wherever you want them, then this is going to be my front side here. So then go and find the granny square that you have laid out for this top section. So these are the 3 that I have. I'm going to have 1 in each corner as well, but these are the 3 that I have to fit my top section. So what you want to do is line it up like this, and you want to mark where you need to bring. I have several little markers here. You want to mark where you want your first one to be able to go, because you're going to have to stretch them probably slightly to get them to fit over the top. So to make it as even as possible, I want 1 granny square to start here. And then I'm going to want my next one to start here. Make sure you get a marker. And then of course the other one will start here. So just make sure, double check. I think that's about right. So when you're sewing this one, you want to make sure you stretch it to at least, before this starts, because then you'll add your next. So I'm going to move my other 2 over to the side. And you can single crochet however you like. Make sure again that you have your right side facing you. I'm going to fold my granny square down like that. You can hide your tails of your grannies before you get started if you want, which I always should do. But instead, for now, I'm just going to move it out of the way for the tutorial purposes. Okay, so we want it to come here. So I have an idea, so I'm going to make it a little easier real quick. I'm going to get another marker. I'm going to line my corner stitch up with this last stitch here that I want it to sew. Probably be this one. And I'm going to put 1 through my granny and 1 through this one. And I'm going to pull my marker through both. And kind of tie it like that. By pulling it through, it holds it together. So then it's not going to be constant having to worry. Okay, I'm going to do the single crochet method just because I like the look of it, and there's a border that it leaves. So to do the single crochet method, if you're going to do that, you want to turn it front side facing this way and front side facing this way. And you're going to start in one corner, which would be this corner. It's hard to do this on camera. And I want to go into my actual stitch on my white here. So I want it to be a strong connection. Then you go in through your granny square stitch. And then you're just going to do a single crochet. Then go into your next stitch. Then go into your next stitch here. Single crochet. You want to do a few stitches, single crochet, and then you want to check to make sure that this is good. Because if you can line it up really good and even, it's going to make it so much easier for you. So for myself, I skipped a stitch there just to keep it lined up. Looks like I'm going to have to. There we go, it's re-straightened. Okay, this is the one I need to go in. Skip a stitch. You just keep lining it up, making sure that it's staying aligned. Just keep single crocheting. Then I'm going to single crochet in this last stitch. Remove my marker. Okay. Well, that was the last stitch I needed for this granny square. Then I'm going to get my next granny. Move my marker. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get my marker. The stitch before this marker, I'm going to put it in here. Then I'm going to find my corner on this one. Pull it through both. That'll hold it firm. And again, I'm going to line it up. Starting in through my very next stitch, I'm going to find this corner one. My first single crochet. And then again, making sure that you keep making sure it's aligned as best as you can as you single crochet along. Do a few, recheck it, realign it, stretch it how you need to stretch it. About every few stitches I'm checking to realign it. Okay, now I'm going to single crochet in this last stitch here. Okay. Get my last one here. And just to make it easier for myself here, I'm going to get the very corner here, my blanket. Let me say this one. Corner top, you want to make sure it's kind of on the top too. And then find the corner of this one. Okay. And then do the same to connect this one as well. From this corner. And single crochet. And continue on every few stitches, straighten it out just like you did before. Now I just got done sewing on my last one here. Then I want you to go and grab your next 4 that you have decided to go on the side ones. Not your corner pieces, leave your corner ones alone, just the ones that you're going to attach right to the side. And you're going to align these up the same exact way that you did the top ones, putting your marker in between. So you want to, this side don't need 3 markers. So I'm going to try to do my best to line it up as even as I can, giving it some stretch room. So I'm going to start with this one in the corner, kind of stretch it out to fit this side. Where's my markers? And attach this one to this one. And then my next one, starting from here. This one actually could probably go a little longer. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to go from this next stitch here. Or I'm going to want this one to go. And stretch it out a bit. Okay. Then I'm going to mark on this side and this side. To connect that piece together. Then I'm going to go from the very next stitch here, put my hook through here, find my corner piece here, which is here. Let me go from here, I think. Okay. And then kind of stretch it out to about here. You want to stretch it until it's, good and stretched, but that it's not transforming the look of it too much. And do you think you've got a good spot? Find my corner piece here. Mark that as well. I'm going to go ahead and get one more marker. Then I'm going to place on my very corner here, which is going to be here. into here. I'm going to put my marker there because this is where we must make it stretch. And just make sure that when you stretch it, it's not bad. This one may need to be stretched just a little bit more because you really need to have this side here be kind of even. So I think I can make that work though if I pull this one over just a little. And we'll just have to keep that in mind. So I now know I need to move this over at least one stitch, just because it's going to be a little short if I don't. I don't want it to tug too much on the end on this side. So this one can't be stretched too far. So this one had to be moved over one stitch, and then I think I can make it pretty even. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm just going to move it over one stitch over to the left. And the same with this one. I'll try to stretch it one more stitch over. And this is my other corner one here. Just make sure this one can still stretch to the corner. It can. It's still got an even amount. So I think that'll work. And just keep doing that if you need to. If you need to move it over a little here, a little there, just try to keep it as even as you can on the ends of your blanket here, because you will need to attach another granny square on this side. So you're going to be attaching exactly how you did these on this side. Do a few stitches. I'm going to find the corner on this one. You're going to be single crocheting a few stitches. Whoops, forgot to go in through my blanket on this side. There we go. Single crochet a few stitches, and then make sure to align it where it needs to be. Do a few stitches, make sure that you align it, make sure that it's stretched to here as comfortably as you can. Okay, I just got done sewing on my last one, and again for the top side or the bottom side you're going to need 3, and on the other side you're going to need 4. So just continue all the way around, stretching them and locking them in with a marker of some kind until you get all the way around all of your grannies. And then I'll show you how to attach the ones on the corners and how you're going to get these together.